feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride away.
Hey, chat. I'm under decent authority. Pretty decent authority to say it looks like some things are going around. Now, this is what, and by the way, if y'all are wondering, I talked to my mans yesterday. Actually, 2 days ago. It was a very pleasant conversation, chat. Hold on. Let me. I talked to my mans. It was a pleasant conversation. You know what I like about how everything, especially even in my career and just how things have played out. And this is why I like when, I see, despite what y'all might say, and, at the end of the day, I keep telling y'all, man, like, this is why I hate that Cole apologized, because what he rapped was a sentiment, right? There's always like a big 3 or big 2 or big whatever. You know what I mean? And I like when he said, I'm not the 3, not the 2, I'm numero UNO. You feel what I'm saying? And shit, and that's how I feel when it comes to like hip hop media. I feel like I'm number 1, period. At this point. You know what I mean? And if it ain't me, I know who it is. If it ain't me, it would be, you know that line be like, the Spider-Man meme is me looking at Drake? To me, the Spider-Man meme is me looking at him. And so he calls me early 2 days ago. And I said to my mans, I said, Joe, I said, man, I miss you. He said, man, I miss you too. I said, you know what's so crazy about rap media right now? I said, bro, I feel like we're having everyday struggle just on our respective platforms. I give my take, I do my thing, and then you do your thing. And it's almost like the conversation is like ongoing. I could go from my motherfucking like stream to like your podcast. Anyway, I say that to say, me and Joe, we're on the next episode of the Joe Budden podcast. You know what I mean? We had to do it for this one. But me and my man Joe, we're definitely on. Anyway, he did say something on his last podcast, which was a little bit of a breaking news. And I'm going to play it here, okay? Here we go.
I'm going to tell you this. Get out the way. Whatever little rappy shit you thought was going on, it's not that. And something is coming. I think that J. Cole knows that from either Kendrick or Drake or both. And it was time to bow out because now we are no longer in the first round.
Main event time.
We are no longer in the first or second round of this thing. Kendrick has earned himself a bye with Cole's apology.
I said that too.
But I think that the insiders know. Actually, I have it on good information. I have it on good information that both sides went in the booth and came out.
They're ready.
So I'm going to tell you this. Get out the way. And what I'm hearing about both sides is that it's nuclear. It's up. I'm hearing this from people that can rap. So I want to come in here and say that speculation time is over. Debate time is over. I've been saying for a few pods now that I've seen absolutely nothing from Drake to get me excited enough to think that he will be capable of doing what needs to be done against the likes of a Kendrick Lamar. I'm here to say that there's no longer any need for me to instigate anything. And what I'm hearing about both sides is that it's nuclear. we're here.
It's the end game, people.
And apparently,
Drake is
he
too.
did it. And people heard it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I hope he's.
When do you think you drop it?
I hear
Just
it's-
curious. I heard it.
I think it's coming.
I heard
this
it.
week. I think it's coming this
I
week.
heard it's coming Friday.
Yeah,
I heard it's bad. Hold on, Prize Picks. I'll be right.
Okay, that is Joe Budden. Make no mistake about this. If there was a Spider-Man meme when it comes to rap media, me and Joe Budden, we doing the Spider-Man meme. That's a fact. All the way. Listen, it's been to keep y'all abreast. It's been 7 years and a month since we started Everyday Struggle. We started March 2017. This is now April 2024. And at that time when we started and he was doing his podcast, very successful, I was always doing my videos. And I'm very happy that, both of our voices are just respectfully, it's the loudest when it comes to rap or music conversations. And yeah, I take his word very heavily because he's not known as a bullshitter. He's also very shrewd, way more than me. I'll tell you this is how Joe's been. Joe will know some shit, like he'll get like the actual information on it, but he'll say it like he's guessing. Like when I get the information and I know it's a fact, nigga, I'm like, it's like if you ever played dominoes, like I'm fucking slamming on the table. I'm going crazy. I'm going to let y'all know I know this is a fact. When Joe throws this out here, I do believe his sources and that he is operating on good. And when I mean good information from some of the people involved or some of the people who were consulted about this, that Drake has cooked up a song that would be in response. Now, is this the end-all, be-all? We don't know. Now, I know what some of y'all are thinking. I said, we seen it a couple days ago. You posted it to your page. And then we see what's on your story today, but we also see what's on somebody else's story. And y'all, I won't necessarily say y'all are right. But Drake, a week ago, in the studio, you can see Pro Tools or whatever here, and he has the up to the time Free Cartel, Free World Boss. That was him letting people know he's in the studio, despite him just getting off tour. His top echelon producers, Boy Wonder. Oh, it's not there anymore. Well, I think it's on my story still. You're going to notice there's a Vibes Cartel reference. It's on my story. I ain't going to tell you why. But I'll give you the explanation. So this was posted on Boy Wonder's story first. Obviously, Drake posted Free World Boss, which is Vibes Cartel. Then you have his producer who posted this last night. It's expired. It's only 24 hours. On stories. This is an infamous picture from Vibes Cartel. Versus Movado clash. And interestingly, this is why dancehall is like such an amazing culture, but even sport. The way how beefs are settled there, yeah, of course you have diss songs, this and third, but it usually comes to a helm where you have to show up and perform and be the person and also have the lyrics or whatever versus the other person live. And there's a group of people who are going to be in the crowd, and of course there's going to be recorded for the internet to see. That is one of the unique parts of dancehall. It's not just rap beef and then nothing happens. It's usually you have to come to a helm. So that picture I showed you, and even Drake making a reference to Vybz Kartel, and then his producer posting that picture, which I then posted too, it's reminiscent of this moment where the two dancehall giants, and this is going back, I think this was 2018. Okay? Not 2018. 2008. In 2008, the two biggest people in dancehall culture were Vybz Kartel and Mavado. They competed on stage to see who would be the superior person. Now, if we parallel that to what we're going through now, it's set. The stage is set. Drake and not J. Cole, Drake and Kendrick, we finally are at the point that they're about to compete. Maybe not on stage, but compete in a lyrical coliseum where we are all going to view them go back and forth to find out who is superior. That's where that parallel is. I'll play a little bit of this. You know, this is Jamaica, so it's like, both people beefing, they actually meet on stage and perform all their disses in front of each other. If you guys are familiar with maybe some of UK culture, I think Red Bull tried to do an iteration of that called like the Red Bull Sound Clash. If you ever remember when Popcorn and like a bunch of people used to go against each other, that was like a playful version of it. But this was like mid-beef, mid-whatever. These guys meet face to face. So this is Mavado coming out right here. By the way, if you ever hear about Sting, which this is the event that this happened at in Jamaica, it's such a performative thing. I think he came out. This is why he has his outfit on. You're gonna see Vybz Kartel come on stage in a second. Here we go.
Let me come like a joke kick. Rascal. They walk out in a soldier suit. I'm sorry, I think I'm doing. Send them out there now.
So Vybz Kartel's walking out now. Mavado's waiting for him. They actually compete on stage, which I think is such a unique thing, and it's so great for people who love music. Obviously, there's, especially in Jamaica, there's a violent element that could happen, but it's usually controlled. There's only like one or two times that there was ever violence. Can I see Drake and it's like a versus. Like if you know what versus is, the real version of versus is a sound clash. It's a clash where two artists not seen eye to eye who has diss songs against each other go in front of a crowd that hopefully is neutral, and they got to perform their songs. And the crowd tells who wins via boos and applause. You're going to see Vybz Kartel enter the stage in a second, and you'll see the parallel. By the way, big up on Jamaica, isn't it? I got to bring some Jamaican culture in here. And by the way, salute to the whole Toronto. Toronto has a very close association with, Jamaican culture, but also Drake. He's tapped in and tied in with Popcorn, always shown love. And of course, Popcorn, his prodigy or his mentor and the person who brought him to the scene was Vybz Kartel. All right, here we go. So this is where this picture is from. Not here exactly. Interestingly enough, when they did this in 2008, one of the biggest moments ever in dancehall history, he'll take off this coat eventually. He's dressed up as a police. He's dressed up as a soldier, and they go at it. I'm biased because everybody know Vybz Kartel had it done. So everybody know, if you ask me, Vibes Cartel won. Some people thought Mavado won, but regardless, it's a very unique experience that even people outside the culture know. So when you see Drake, right? You see Drake like, Drake or even Boy Wonder, like kind of harping back to Vibes Cartel in that moment, what could only be thought of is that they're preparing and they're thinking about this as war. In dancehall culture, if you get killed, and when I mean killed, not like literally dying, if you get violated musically at a sound clash, people never see you the same anymore. It's the ultimate opportunity to prove that you are who you said you are. And Vibes Cartel is a gladiator in that arena. So what am I left to believe? I'm believing Joe Budden, even though him and Drake ain't on the same page right now. But I do believe he's heard the rumors that songs have been cooked up. By the way, I've heard a few rumors that there is some recordings. I don't know if it's a song. There is some recordings that Drake have made that's in the cut. But now, I do have to warn y'all because I heard the same thing when the Pusha T thing happened, and Drake never pulled the trigger on dropping that. He never, ever pulled the trigger on dropping that. Now, of course, we know his reasons. He felt like, it was whatever. But we are here again. From my conversations with Drake, and I'll keep it very... He said he been waiting for smoke from whoever for whenever. He said, he said, all a nigga got to show me is that it's real. I've been waiting for anybody. Let's not make it directly to nobody, but he been waiting. That's the type of nigga he is. That's what he's told me he is. That's what I've seen that he is. I have to believe him. I have to believe that moments like this, when people have tucked away, formulated a plan to get rid of him, he has answered that challenge lyrically and musically, and it's not that he's like, oh man, he loves it. That's who I know him to be. Now, there are other questions that we still have to answer, because I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't want to tell y'all some of the people who I've talked to, but I'm like, I've been asking everybody of late, what the hell did Drake do to, well, we know him and Metro had some shit, but like, what did Drake do to Future, Metro, Rick Ross, anybody? Because it seems like there's an alliance. Also, here's the interesting thing about even having this free cartel thing up and then me going to here. Vibes Cartel was battling Mavado, who was like the number 2 guy in the culture next to him. But Mavado was part of what was called the Alliance. The Alliance had Bounty Killer, Idonia, Busy Signal. Had a whole cast of character, but it was called the Alliance. Now, if I'm looking deep into everything, no Diddy. But part of maybe them putting up this picture of Vibes Cartel is Drake also acknowledging he's going against an alliance of sorts in rap. He's not only going at Kendrick, he's going at Metro, possibly Future. You got Rick Ross. And hear what I'm also hearing on the outskirts. I heard that a lot of this shit's powered by XO. I hear that The Weeknd, who has never really, they've kind of fake squashed it a bunch of times, but I've heard XO has powered a lot of this shit. So Drake got his hands full, and here's the thing. We thought it was going to be 2 versus 8, but his teammate J. Cole just said, I'm sorry, I just want to go home, and he just left. So Drake is in the corner with his fist up, got to fight 8 niggas by himself. Perhaps he's alluding to that, and the people around him is alluding to that, when they're saying it's Drake versus, because again, here it was Vybz Kartel versus Mavado, but the bigger picture was Vybz Kartel goes against the Alliance. Vybz Kartel, his group was called Gaza, and then this guy was with Bounty Killer and these other people, and they were in what's called the Alliance. So if you have a bunch of people who turn into an alliance against you, maybe that's what Drake is feeling. Maybe that's how he's feeling. Again, I already posted it to my personal Instagram. But a week after Drake posted that Free Cartel and that he was in the studio, it was the picture posted, which I also reposted, was Vybz Kartel in this singular moment on stage in a lyrical battle. A clash in dancehall culture is a lyrical battle, lyrical confrontation with the highest of ramifications. If you lose that, they look at you different. Your songs don't hit the same. So I got to believe Drake is ready. I got to believe Drake is ready. Now, if you're just tuning in, we got 20,000 people on the King Akademiks page. Salute to all of y'all. We got about 6,000 people on the Academy page. We got about 3,000 on Twitch. Oh, I got to say this real quick. Yo, chat. Next week, I'm having one of the biggest interviews. Real talk. One of the biggest interviews. I got confirmation today. One of the biggest interviews. And this is why, I know people want me to, comment on these little petty shit. Listen, at the end of the day, and this is what I've told people, my nigga, y'all could keep try to attack the Don, attack the legacy. What y'all can't diminish or y'all can't erase is that I've put in almost 13 to 15 years of work in this shit. And I've, I don't care what y'all say. That's just not going to erase everything I've done. So I don't need to spend all my time trying to debunk bullshit. If I want to believe it, who cares? What I do care about is new moments. And I'm about to do something. I'm about to do a crazy play that is also once again going to separate me from everybody in hip hop. Okay? It's going to happen in the next week. Just be clear. I can't tell you exactly what it is. Everything is being set up at this moment, but I got confirmation today. It's a very unique thing, and I just want to put you guys on notice for it. Anyway, cool. All right, Jesus. All right, cool. Now, here's the thing. If you look at Drake's Instagram, it's looking kind of bare. He's not really saying much. Okay, he's just saying RIP to someone. Cool. Then he posted Honcho, which, by the way, shout out to Honcho. Honcho is I feel like Honcho is he's the most lit nigga in Atlanta right now, right? If you're not gonna, the most lit nigga in Atlanta is Honcho, right? Come on. And, so Drake ain't really posting anything.